Welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 6, Chapter 22 is what it says right now on Disney+. Look, last week was one of the best episodes of The Mandalorian we've ever had. I feel like it really set the tone going forward here for the rest of the season. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this today. So let's do it. Let's watch this episode right now. Okay, interesting. I'm sorry. All I can think of is Holden Hardman and Jen. It's literally a fish. Congratulations, guys.
We are Mandalorian. You see, we've been commissioned to track you down, Captain Shuggoth.
We're privateers.
Individuals for hire. You see, we were already hired by a certain Mon Calamari viceroy who has reason to believe you absconded with her son.
It's a lie.
I know it was for love.
But my job is not to
Judge, but simply to complete the tasks for which we were hired.
We got a Romeo and Juliet situation.
We love each other.
Sorry, I got to bring you back home to your folks.
You have to go with them.
No, I love you.
And I will always love you.
Oh, the tentacles caressing his face. That is kind of cool and creepy. I love it.
I thought Mandalorians were honorable.
Well,
kid. All it takes is a few credits.
my mind immediately goes to questioning the one part they didn't show in the previously on. Are these potentially the same Mandalorians, guns for hire perhaps, that released or set Moff Gideon free? Certainly they're the same guns for hire that Bo-Katan is going to be looking for.
Axe Woves is their leader now. It's going to take some convincing to get them to join us.
Welcome to Plazia 15, the Outer Rim's only remaining direct democracy. Engaging automated guidance.
I kind of love the little welcome voice.
I guess we're going for a ride.
Well, Grogu's happy. Why shouldn't you be happy? He's a pretty intuitive little dude, okay? I trust his instincts.
Please proceed to your Hyperloop pod.
Hyperloop pod, wow.
Please do not attempt to leave the vehicle. This is not a request.
Wow, it's so fast. Oh, I definitely only want to travel by Hyperloop, despite the fact that they're probably going somewhere that maybe won't be the most pleasant experience for them. This is a fun way to travel. Oh, my.
Join us!
What a
Come.
meal.
Come!
Is that Jack Black? That doesn't seem right.
Was once a facilities planning officer during the war, and thanks to the New Republic amnesty program,
I'm shook. Grogu's invested in their story.
The baby.
He doesn't take kindly to strangers.
Oh, but he loves fish. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's never met a stranger like her before. He's a fan.
Privateer warships docked in your fields.
Oh, we hire them for protection. Our charter forbids us from having a military because of my husband's imperial past.
I'd like to speak to these privateers.
that couldn't be arranged.
We have a problem.
Yes?
A droid problem. They were completely rehabilitated for peaceful purposes exclusively.
We thought.
They were, my love. I personally oversaw the program.
What do you think?
You had me at battle droids.
I knew he'd be in.
These droids were all reprogrammed to serve the community from the
Whoa, hang on. Christopher Lloyd also? What is life? I mean, I love Jack Black and Christopher Lloyd, but it's kind of taking me out a little bit just because they're so iconic. Doesn't mean they shouldn't get great roles, though. Oh, yeah, that seems... Oh, geez. Ah!
Turn them off.
Failsafe cutoff switch. The citizens voted against any interruption in droid services. The citizens are no longer required to work. They can spend their days engaging in recreation.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Would you vote to shut down the internet?
You'll have to go to the lower level and speak to the Ugnaughts.
Ugnaughts.
I am Bo-Katan Kryze. Which one of you is in charge?
Oh, come on, somebody step up.
I am Mandalorian Din Djarin, friend of Ugnaught Queel.
That'll work, yes. Rest in peace.
I have spoken.
He's literally speaking their language now. Beautiful.
We were engaged to hunt down and eliminate the malfunctioning droids.
There are no such droids.
You may not have heard the news.
You can't just
We're not in
deny.
any way suggesting that your work is to blame. We would appreciate your help. They've indicated that there's a likelihood that the next event will be at the loading docks.
How sure are they?
Hard to tell. Ugnaughts always seem sure of themselves.
Yeah.
Any of them look suspicious?
All of them?
They all look suspicious.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, rest assured I've had the entire line of loaders undergo maintenance protocols.
Okay, but if someone is doing it, reprogramming them or whatever.
Sir? Excuse me?
Ooh. I really do like the designs of this location. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a slightly altered version of the Citadel in Mass Effect. Of course, I always felt like Mass Effect was a very Star Wars-esque style in video game. So with the culture of all the different aliens and such. Ooh. Good job.
The spark pad.
What's it say?
The resistor.
Sounds like a droid bar.
And there's an address.
Of course there is. It's like a matchbook for droid information.
Let me do the talking in there.
Why is that?
You kicking droids is really not helpful.
I figured out which one was malfunctioning, didn't I?
I thought it was very effective.
Let me do it mine, okay?
Okay, we're doing a partnership. Guess they stick out. I would like the droid to say, "We don't serve your kind here."
There has been a string of malfunctions that all point to this oil can.
We are in full compliance with planetary unblockable.
If you don't start answering questions, I'll yank your memory circuit and dissect it back at the lab.
Oh my gosh. Is that doing thing Bo's way?
You can't reason with droids.
Their behavior's programmed. All they do is reason.
We are worried that if these horrible incidents continue, we will be replaced.
Yeah, that's a very real concern.
The New Republic would send them to scrap, but here on Plaisir, they are given a second chance.
Why am I feeling compassion for these droids? Oh, wow.
We don't want to be replaced. We still have a lot to contribute.
I love this.
Human life is so short.
Aww.
Organics created us. It's the least we can do. It seems the malfunctioning droids all imbibed from the same batch of Nepenthe.
So there was a bad batch. Where did that batch originate from?
The particles are definitely present.
What are the chances that they're still active?
There we go. Will did it a little better that time.
They're
actually nanodroids.
Oh, wow.
How did nanodroids get into the Nepenthe?
The chain title says it didn't arrive on Plaisir through droid acquisitions. They were requisitioned by the security office.
Okay.
It's illegal. There's no record of this transaction on the government registry. Our head of security,
I was going to say, Christopher Lloyd.
Commissioner Hellgate.
Commissioner Hellgate. That is a very cool name, by the way.
We know about the Nepenthe and the nanodroids.
They didn't malfunction. You programmed them to disrupt an attack.
Uh-oh.
Everyone freeze! If I trigger this failsafe, it will convert the planet's docile workforce back into battle droids.
The red button doesn't do what you said the first time.
You're a separatist.
Separatist is a pejorative term. Count Dooku was a visionary. He was cut short in his prime by the Jedi and forces.
Done. Way to take advantage of a monologue, Bo.
Okay, let me get that for you, my lady.
Hakuna Matata.
Your Toslafin?
Oh, wow. They're playing a game with a giant roly-poly. What? That's actually a pretty cool game. Oh, Grogu. He cheated. It pays to be friends with that little Jedi.
Found the cause of your malfunctions.
Is this true?
They're so naive. I love their innocence.
Is it the Quacta calling the stifling slimy?
I beg your pardon.
This planet is unrecognizable.
I just love that quote.
I am sorry to have disappointed you, my lady.
As for now, you must live in exile on the moon of Paraquat.
Oh, wow. Devastated. Devastation. That feels like the worst punishment they could give him based on everyone's responses.
I also give to you both our highest honor, the key to Plaisir. And to this little one, I grant knighthood.
What? He gets a knighthood? I don't know what he did to receive knighthood other than being adorable, but that's all it takes in this community, in this society.
I've come to reclaim my fleet.
There's no longer your fleet.
Then I challenge you. One warrior to another.
I like that this little music track is back from that one episode that they all first appeared in. Not really a music track so much as a static rhythm. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. He started off with some pretty big guns. Yikes, my guy. Collateral damage. Be careful. Could have hit one of your people.
Do you yield? You will never be the true leader of our people. You won't even take the Darksaber from him. He's the one you should be challenging.
Enough Mandalorian blood has been spilled by your own hands.
That sounds like something a leader would say.
While exploring Mandalore, I was captured. And
Yes!
this blade was taken
Yes!
from me. Bo-Katan rescued me and slayed my captor.
100% that happened. And then she wielded it like a boss.
Would this blade then not belong to her?
Quality use of the transitive property. Come on.
It would.
I mean, I'm thrilled by this. This is very satisfying. Wow. Bryce Dallas Howard, I'm not surprised to see that you directed this episode. Great job. Lizzo, I figured that was also a bit of what I would almost consider stunt casting. I'm not really familiar with Lizzo. I figured she must be somebody as well that was alongside Jack Black. I don't know. They're great actors. Like, they're great actors, and they shouldn't be deprived of great roles in an iconic franchise just because they're well known. But it did distract me a little bit. I don't know. I don't know why we had like 3 giant, like famous actors suddenly out of nowhere. But I mean, they were funny. They were great in the role, and it kind of worked, I guess, maybe because like this culture was so unique and odd. Yeah, I don't know. This was very much a classic episode of The Mandalorian. It had that episodic feel. You had Mando and his crew, which in this case is just basically him and Grogu, and it happens to include Bo-Katan as well, out on an adventure, on the mission, serving the overarching goal of the season, which is recruit those Mandalorians and eventually reclaim Mandalore. And of course, we had to have a little side quest along the way to help these planets solve their droid problem. This was exactly what I expect from an episode of The Mandalorian, which makes it, I don't know, it's very satisfying, very rewarding, but also kind of like, why did it take 5 episodes of setup to get to now we have the classic episodes here going towards the end of the season when I would expect things to almost shift from the classic to the more serialized explosions and excitement of the end of the season. Explosions wasn't the right word, but whatever. That suspense, the explosiveness that you want, like as you're gearing up, tunneling towards the end of the season. With only 2 episodes left, I am excited, especially having Bo-Katan get the Darksaber back here at the end of the episode. It was just absolutely fantastic. I love the recalling of when Mando was defeated during episode 2 of this season, and then Bo-Katan got the Darksaber in that moment. That wasn't something I thought about in that moment, but I saw some people talking about it at a different place somewhere on the internet, who knows where. And I was like, yeah, that actually really makes sense. And I love that they brought that back around and allowed that to be how she got the Darksaber back. It makes perfect sense, and it meant that we don't have to watch Din and Bo actually fight or have combat, because while that would be enjoyable, at this point I really just want them to get along and be partners. And this was kind of like a fun buddy cop adventure in this episode, watching them who 2 very qualified and skilled Mandalorians, but with very different approaches as they tried to solve this mystery of the droids. And yeah, I really enjoyed the culture of this planet. I really enjoyed watching them explore, and I love how they humanized the droids and made us feel for them. They did that a couple times in various episodes of Clone Wars and Rebels, and usually at the start of one of those storylines I'm like, whatever, but by the end I'm like, oh, that was so good. I really liked that. And yeah, what are you gonna do? I just it was a very nice moment when that droid was giving his little speech talking about how humans die. And anyway, it was just a nice moment. I really, really enjoyed it. It was great to have the Ugnaughts back again. I mean, it's an alien species we really got to know through the Ugnaught that we met earlier in the show. I just blanked on his name, but you know, it was just great to bring it back and using Din's connection to speak to them, even bringing back the I have spoken bit. I thought that was really great. I really liked that. I also enjoyed the little bit at the beginning with the Quarian and Calamari, Romeo and Juliet situation. Obviously, that was just a way to introduce the privateers, and we didn't get any resolution on there. And, you know, maybe we really don't need to follow them or whatever, but it just makes me happy and laugh a little bit that we have a little bit of a star-crossed lovers here in a galaxy far, far away. I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed watching the buddy cop element. We had some big pushes here on the overall story, and this was truly a classic episode of The Mandalorian. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, give this video a like and subscribe for more just like it. And yeah, here's another video you might enjoy. Big thank you to my patrons. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.